This is nice music. And I can barely hear myself. Hello everyone. This is Moe Alabdullah. It's Sweet Canal. Sweet Canal. And I have here with me Luke Cole.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
Glad to be here.
Glad to be here too. And thank you for tuning in on k-row.org. For those who are watching this on TV, this is coming from krow.org, from UMKC, which stands for University of Kansas City, Missouri. And for those who are listening to Kroo, you can actually watch this video version on YouTube and
on the Time Warner Access Channel 17 in the very near future.
It'll be great.
It's going to be awesome. We're really happy with this opportunity that the university is providing us.
That's very true. So we're gonna start with, you can share your thoughts, suggestions, questions, things that you want to see on this program on Twitter, on k-row, hashtag Carol Canal. You can share your thoughts over there. We'll listen to you. Would you like to start with sharing your social medias, please?
Oh, sure. I've been working on Twitter, so you can just basically, and also LinkedIn. I'm easily found, Luke, L-U-K-E, Cole, K-O-H-L. It's hashtag intergalactic #1.
It's always #1. You can find me on Instagram on black-4, black as the color lash, LASH4. You can find me also on Snapchat, which is black-5. I would like to start with a public service announcement. Is there any issue would you like to attack, or should I take a stab at it?
Go ahead, Mohammed.
People, you can listen to this and drive, but you cannot text and drive. Because when you are texting, you're trying to input few letters on your phone or tablet. That will keep you distracted from the road. I don't even like to text if I am a passenger. But if you can do it, then I don't know, then bring your bed to the car and sleep there too. You cannot do them both. If you can watch a movie while texting, you're gonna miss the movie, even though you're just sitting there. How about a road that's going 60 miles in front of you? It's very distracting. Even when I'm focused on the road, I can sometimes get in an accident. How about texting?
Yeah, I think that all of us need to watch ourselves there.
Even like I sometimes look at my phone for to look at like which exit to take. And I'll be like, well, you should focus on driving. I will just listen to the lady on the GPS and say, I'm gonna take that exit. I'm gonna listen to you. I'm not gonna look at my phone. It's pretty difficult. One good way is it's actually to use earbuds or like hand-free stuff.
Yeah, I like the technology that's integrated into the automobiles now, where it's Bluetooth oriented and hands-free. I was using that to talk to my mom today on the ride in from Liberty to the show.
Yeah, we're gonna do a shout out. Well, go ahead, do a shout out.
I'll give a shout out first to my mom, who's not listening because she doesn't have the internet, but I'll give a shout out to my girlfriend, Aunt Cameron, and my baby Oliver, and my other baby Sky, whom I love all of them very, very much. Thankful to them. Cameron's a student here as well, and she's at home in Liberty taking care of the baby. We're looking for a home to move into right now, so it's really busy.
It's gonna be busy all the time. Going back to the texting and driving, since it's not just a PSA, it's actually one of the topics we can talk about. I would like to mention that we will talk about a social experiment, sharing food, recycle, a documentary, and why it's so difficult for people to park further. And the story about my car speakers, if we get to that. And if we couldn't cover all of those in this episode, we'll cover it another time. If we cover them all, there is more over here. There was one time I was driving back in Saudi Arabia. My car was 2010. It had what just called hand-free stereo, where you can talk to people while driving. And I was going 60 miles or so, and that stereo froze. So since that stereo froze, I cannot use it at all. Now I am not able to talk on the phone, and I am not able to enjoy my drive. I can say it's about 2 hours, and it gets boring. It's after a stressful day, I need to vent. So in order to tackle that issue, I did not use my phone, but I had to step aside from the highway and stop, turn off the car in order for that stereo to restart, and then back again. I'm late 5 minutes, but I can enjoy the road talking to somebody at least, or planning for the weekend, because at that time in Saudi Arabia, it's weekend starts on
Friday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday, huh?
Yeah, Wednesday. So Thursday and Friday is the weekend. Saturday is the first day.
Wow.
Yeah, and we changed it, and now it's Thursday is the last day. So we meet, United States and Saudi Arabia meet on one weekend day instead of none. I think that's pretty cool. It's mixed business goes faster. The flow, I can say. When I'm trying to apply for an admission or something, I would have to wait more days in order for them to respond. And then I will have to do things on my end where it needs for that store or government place to be open. I'm going to have to wait again.
I understand. I see.
It wastes a lot of days.
Oh, yeah. So it's kind of like global currency exchange, how everyone loses a lot of money when they have to exchange currency. It's kind of like losing time when our days aren't congruent, our weekends and our weekdays aren't congruent, so we have an overlap. Okay, I think that was good when they make that law.
Yeah,
is that a new law?
It's not new, but it's been happening for a while.
Okay.
I hope it settles down because they changed it twice. So it used to be Wednesday is the weekend, and then Friday and Saturday and Sunday, I think, and then switched like Thursday. All right, mediation.
I always thought Sunday was the first day of the week.
Yeah, you can adjust your phone's calendar to that actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Neat.
So if you are in a place where it does that, well, you have to adjust. I hope there will be more options.
That's good.
My week starts on Wednesday. Just kidding. So, social experiment. Okay. A social experiment can be explained with two ways. It's like one of those YouTube videos where they do something and gets people attention and see what they do. And there is another one, which I tried on Thursday last week. Yes, you were with me on that class, but you did not see it until after it was over.
Okay.
So
what'd you do?
What did I do? I wanted to see how much can happen or not happen until someone finds out.
Okay.
So I agreed with two classmates to just stay outside of class, do not go on. And we stayed outside. We did not sit on the floor completely. We did not stand up. We kind of leaned on the wall, which is in the middle between waiting and something like that. People started arriving. Some of them know what I wanted to try to do, which is try to keep as much as students outside of class without actually telling them to.
Okay.
So there is a fourth that joins us. He goes back to class and forth, and he wants to do it, which is Gary. For people who are listening to this live on k-ro.org, you can tune in on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. to listen to Gary Lopez. His topics are interesting. You should listen to him. And for those who are watching this on TV or YouTube, you can tune in for the live show for this show at least, or Gary as if you like, on k-ro.org on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Or you can just wait for the video version to come out. Let's go back to this topic. So we started.
Yeah, I like the social experiment topic.
Yeah, we started like just like chatting, like what we do in class, and then just like talk about whatever, the painting on the wall, and then more people actually came, and then just like stopped. One just like had her headphones or something, did not say anything, and another one who came was like, "Are you people waiting for someone or something?" I was just like, "Do not engage." I would just say, "I don't know." It was interesting. Until there was one student who came and I was like, "I'm gonna go in, I don't care." And he went in. And I was like, "You can do whatever you want." And he went out again. He said, "I'm gonna use the restroom." He went to use the restroom and he came back outside.
Was Peter alone in the room?
No, he hasn't shown up yet.
Okay.
It was before class, like 30 minutes or so.
All
right. Sometimes I come to school to print stuff.
Sure.
Yeah. So that person said, "I'm gonna use the restroom," came back and stood up. Until just one student, for no obvious reason, just walked and went to class, and everyone followed.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "You broke the curse," but we kept about like 7 people outside before, or more than that. I'm bad at counting sometimes.
I love social experiments that a lot of them are very artistic and creative, because you have to implement some sort of a factor in the person, a wow factor or a stimulated factor or a shock factor, something. They have to react and you have to capture that. If it's for video content production purposes, you can do it as simply on your cell phone or a camera. But I've experienced a lot of different social experiments.
Go ahead.
In Kansas City, in California. One that I like is in the Bushman on the San Francisco Pier. A lot of people have been to the Navy Pier area of San Francisco. There's this guy that hides behind a bush, and he's painted green, and he sits behind it, and it's on a major boardwalk where people are walking, and he jumps out from the bush, and the bush moves. He frightens people. That's a social experiment that I think is pretty cool. That's pretty interactive. Some pantomimes. Oh, if you go to Vegas and you go to Old Vegas and you walk down the strip there, not the traditional strip, but between the casinos where they have, what is that street called? Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a street where all the performers are located, and there's mimes there, and there's musicians, and I like that street for sure. That's a lot of social experiments going on at one time. The other social experiment that I like has been on the walk at Santa Monica Pier area, where there are people who are trying to interview you for something, and all of a sudden it's by a trash can, and someone jumps out of the trash as you're engaged with them talking. That's kind of crazy.
It's kind of it's semi-prank.
Yeah, it's semi-prank, but it's also it's to see how people react. I think that's social. Where people scream, cry, laugh. It's all social and emotional. I think it's cool.
Sorry I turned around, but I was trying to keep this device from sleeping. There was another social experiment.
How about the bird? How about this social experiment with the scooter going on around the world? The bird scooters. Well, this company Bird dropped off a bunch of scooters in metropolitan locations around the world. Or U.S. that probably have college students, heavy amount of college students like Kansas City, and you basically sign up for $1. I know that they planned on what if we got in trouble. What's going to happen? What's going to happen if we get in trouble? Because this could be bad PR for us, but we just provided millions of people with transportation for $1 and a lot of good fun. So can we overcome the bad PR from getting in trouble with what we've done so far and build upon that through using negative PR to help build our brand name and brand reach, which is what they're doing?
As soon as I started to see those things going on, I think I thought, yeah, there must be a GPS in there. And the second thing is, there's gonna be something. There's gonna, like, legally talking, can you just leave your bike on the sidewalk?
Right.
I'm sure they thought about it.
So that's what's going on, is a legal situation with the whole platform.
Yeah.
And so what they're going to try to rebound with is something that's coherent to the needs of the legal providers, something that the police won't get pissed off or the city won't get pissed off with, because the bird company did not notify the cities that this was going on. They just dropped them off. And then waited for the reaction, which in itself is a huge social experiment on a national level, city by city, and a national level.
That's very interesting. Yeah, we're gonna see how that goes. I mean, they're gonna make it to the news, or maybe already did.
Oh, they're in the news all over. But what will happen is, if they get in trouble, you see a company like Tesla, who has a CEO who smokes pot on a radio broadcast.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then you see the stock plummet from that.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens to a person in this situation where
you mean the bird person?
Yeah, the bird company, where they've done something negative, seen as negative by each city, but very positive by the people who make up that city. It's kind of complex.
Yeah, I can see your answer. I can see your angle. I can see also, we just wait and see what happens. I haven't used any of them though.
I haven't either, but I know a lot of people who have and enjoy it, and they take them for quite a journey.
I usually prefer walking.
Walking's good.
Walking, or just
speed. Time is of the essence, and I think that speed is always valuable. If I'm trying to get from point A to point B and I don't need to meet with anybody in between, I'm gonna get on a bird, fly. See, that's probably what their slogan is: get on a bird and fly.
Back to the social experiments, if you like to.
Totally.
There is one when people cross on a sidewalk and there is a car waiting for them, and they would just look at in front of the car where the driver cannot see and kind of try to skip something, try to go over something, like whatever it is.
A ramp?
No.
Jumping their bike?
Okay. All right. Here is the sidewalk over here, and here's the car. Not sidewalk, sorry, the crosswalk. Mm-hmm. So the car stopped over here, and the person is trying to cross, and then he stops and looks right at the license plate.
Okay.
And then oh, I'm gonna skip this, and he's trying to skip it. Some drivers will be like, whatever, and drive off, but some of them will stay for a couple of minutes, and others will be like, I'm gonna step off my car. And
interesting.
Look at that. What's going on?
What is going on? What's he doing?
Nothing. There's nothing. He's just skipping over here.
Okay. Yeah, I think social experiments are meant to get a rise out of the people who they're targeting, and it can be either for qualitative or quantitative purposes. It could be part of a study, research. Here at UMKC we have a lot of creative students doing a lot of creative work, engaged with their professors doing creative studies. We're a national university that conducts a lot of research. I met a professor who does a variety of research. He's a social theorist and a physicist. Yesterday, as I was conducting my own social experiment, riding the bus, using the awesome bus pass that each one of our students gets on our back of our student card. We get to ride the bus all over this city.
I like to use the feature. I mean, I like to use that feature for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, I love it. Just one last thing about that social experiments, pranks. Pranks. If you are not creative enough, pranks can deteriorate, stop from showing up. They're not as creative. you'll have to go another line, which is unethical, I can say, which is some people will try to publicly drink or do something that people would actually be angry about.
Not condone.
Yeah, and like dumping a bucket of water on them or something like that, or break their phone, even though afterwards they're gonna buy him a phone for the sake of this video. But
Can I add?
Yeah.
I think someone like Elon Musk, who is heavily invested in by a variety of different sources, both governmental, international agencies, and people, look towards someone like that who has invested and taken their investments to build his company, and scrutinize that individual heavily because of the kind of belief that is placed in him. So I think that every CEO has to be even more aware and interested in what his shareholders are going to think, because no, I don't mean that we have to be robots, but we have to be appropriate. You know, the kind of misconduct that occurs across the globe in big business and entertainment and media and politics and banking and every facet of our life is really is something to be ashamed of as a society. And so while we're talking about social experiments, I think one of the most important things that a social experiment does is make that individual look at the situation, the surroundings, the environment, and the current milieu, that environment that they're in, and question and ask about the reality and the repercussions.
Okay. Alright, my last stab at it was like, it's going too far, pranking people, and some of them actually try to stage it, and I think this category or this branch, unless there is someone really creative comes into it, it's not gonna survive anymore.
All right. I think people will always find reaction-based content interesting.
Yeah, it is if you're creative.
Whether it's like Ashton Kutcher's, what was his show?
Wait, Ranch?
You've been...
The Ranch?
No, you've been punked. Punked, it was on MTV, it's Punked.
Oh.
And then there's like the skater dude who has his ridiculousness, Rob from Ridiculousness and all that crew, another MTV show, mostly about hidden cameras and pranks and funny things that happen. A little different, but you put it all together, the content into a show, it is a social experiment in itself to see how people will react on a large level to lots of content. Will people laugh until they cry?
I like that. Would you like to talk about a little bit more? I need to check something.
Sure. Give me a topic to talk about. What do you want to shift into?
Sharing food.
Oh, sharing food is so important. That's something that each one of us at different times in our lives either have more or less food than we need. And I think it's something so important to keep in mind. I have at times in my journey have been challenged, whether it be traveling in a foreign country or in our own country. It's unfortunate that people in our own country are in the disadvantaged state that they're in. And I look to, with the work that I do something about that, especially because I've been there before. And many of the people that I know who have achieved greatness and success in their lives, with or without college degrees or even high school degrees or a certificate, because of hard work and perseverance and having a good record, being known for doing good work. These people, they've achieved, and they have been able to overcome parts of their lives so that they could be the difference, making the difference. And that's why sharing food, if you can, donate to your homeless shelter or to a food pantry, is so very important. I know when I've been really down and out at different times in my life, being able to ask someone for a sandwich, as simple as that, or McNuggets, or a drink, a cup of coffee, man, that'll turn your day around. Someone believing in you and giving you something.
That's true. It's you took a different approach at it. I honestly have not think about donating or something like that.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you gave me that topic. Which direction are you going to go with this?
It's as simple as like if I'm eating something and you're next to me, and I would offer.
That's awesome.
Offer some of that.
That's really nice.
Or if
like you did earlier with the brownie.
Yeah, I did not mean to do that for this, but I had this for before. But like it's.
You mean
brownie.
the topic?
Yeah.
But it just came. It's natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, man. Being able to share in a meal with someone.
Yeah, yeah. Like when I sometimes go out with my friends or my international summer friends from Brazil and Peru and Chile and India, China and Saudi Arabia. I had a lot of fun with you guys, and this is a shout out for you, by the way. I miss you a lot, and it's not the same without you. Anyway, if we went to a restaurant, we would try to, other than asking each other which is the best or so, because usually the restaurant is strange for all of us. Okay, Mediterranean restaurant, Thai restaurant, Chinese restaurant, and we would choose things that we choose things that are different, like it's not the same of all of us. And after the food is there, someone will say, okay, can you have some? Or can I have some?
Yeah, so you all share.
Yeah, can I have a dumpling, for example, an egg roll, or a piece of that shrimp? It's kind of...
Serve up some of that bok choy. I'm not a big fan of bok choy. I prefer, what I really like though, along those lines, the lo mein noodles. Serve up some of those lo mein noodles, some ramen. The noodles, man. You know, I was in a class yesterday speaking about noodles and food and sharing food, and Dr. Wagner, Jacob Wagner, one of the heads of our urban development policy division, he talked about, is a ramen noodle shop popping up in your neighborhood a sign of gentrification, and people getting together to share a meal around something that's very inexpensive like ramen, or like pho is not expensive, and people love pho, the soup, the noodles, the meat, the vegetables. So I think that there's a point to that, which is community is built around sharing food.
Yeah, that's very true. There's one time I was in class, and I'm actually not used to classmates sharing their food with me. I'm used to do the opposite, and I'm used to do that with my like neighbors or something. It would be easy to do that with outside of school, but inside of school it's kind of a little bit different settings. And I have a classmate who was eating and just offered me, just like, there you go. I wouldn't expect it, but I'm still thankful to this day. That happened last week, by the way.
Okay, in our class?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know. There's a lot of stories coming from that class.
Yeah, it's a lot of good stuff coming.
A lot of good stuff, that's for sure. Another one is if you cook. No, I'm not saying try to, but you can sometimes make a mistake or cook too much, or actually try to count your neighbors in. That happens. I know it happens already here, but I took that habit from Saudi Arabia back. And we have neighbors that bring macaroni and bring sambusas and rice, meat, and stuff like that.
Sounds delicious.
They would just knock on the door.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, it is. Give you a plate. And if we do the same or do not, it's not necessarily like, hey, I gave you food, you should give me food. It's not one by one.
It's not needed. The reciprocity is not why it's done. It's done because it's what has always been done, and it's what you've been taught by your family, and it's what's right to do.
So our dishes are mixed up as well.
The what?
The dishes?
The dishes get mixed up.
Oh yeah, that's the dish. But like one of the nice things is like to receive a dish, eat whatever is in it, clean it, put another dish, and send it back.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great idea.
That's
I like
a great
that.
idea.
That's a great idea, everyone out there.
Like keep some post-it notes or something on them. You're gonna get lost like
Make sure
really
you don't.
quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure that you
Get it back eventually.
That's for sure. All right, so sharing food is good. That's good. There was an actual video prank thing where like someone would eat with someone and they would give them a small piece of rice.
Is this a social media experiment about food?
It's not social media experiment. It's like friends playing with each other.
Okay.
So he would give him.
So it's more of a prank.
Yes.
Okay.
So he would give him. All right, there's two plates. Let's assume that this plate is loaded with rice and there's like 5 pieces of meat, and this plate as well. And
what kind of meat is it?
beef.
Beef.
This is an example.
Okay, I'm just wondering. Is it Saudi Arabia or is it America?
This is
Anywhere?
This is like a YouTube video. It's funny,
okay.
and he has shrimp or something, and he would give him or her a significantly small piece, and then he'll be like, "Oh, thank you," and he would take a bigger piece and take it back. It's funny because the way they react. Some of them just freeze. Some of them will be like, "No, this is mine."
Right.
But not in English because it's not an actual audio, but the way they react. But it's not Arabic either, so I don't think so. It's the video has music on it. It actually doesn't have any dialogue. But I wanted to share sharing foods idea.
I'll tell you a sharing a food idea / experiment that are not, it's not experiment, experience that I love was when I was younger and I used to travel to the Northern Cheyenne Indian Reservation in Montana.
Nice.
Yeah, it was amazing being able to be given that opportunity. I was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, many years. My mom and dad had been Jesuit volunteers up there in Lame Deer, Montana, and they wanted to introduce me, so I went up with them. Many times there were functions where there was food being shared, food of all types, everything. I'm talking everything traditional. Sometimes feeling like you're in a different world when you're with your friends having their traditional food. Don't you say, Muhammad? Isn't it like being in a different world when you get to be with your friends having a meal that they prepare that's original from their
that's
from
for
their
sure.
cuisine?
Yeah.
I love that. I love it. There's nothing better, like you said, than coming together as a bunch of friends and preparing a couple dishes that are your own cuisine. I can imagine going, to have some Chinese food and some Saudi Arabian food and, the Persian food, and then you have some American food, all of it together. American, what do you think American food is?
Burgers.
Burgers and fries.
Burgers and fries, which are what I'm thinking about.
Right now?
Mm-hmm.
I love pasta. It's typically seen as Italian, but
that's true.
I love the Cascones sauce. I think only people in Kansas City are lucky enough to have the Cascones original sauce. My daughter and I, Sky, we love to make pasta and put the Cascone sauce on it, and then Parmesan. We are real big pasta people.
Last week or the week before, when we were talking on the phone about this program, I was actually making macaroni and ground beef.
Yum!
I'll put extra beef in there because
delicious.
More protein.
Delicious.
It was okay.
Mac and beef, beefy mac.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
I
they
was
call
distracted by the phone call and something's got burned.
Uh-oh. Oliver was crying in the background for a moment. I heard it. I know that he was crying. I know you heard him. We were doing diaper changes. Yeah, so something burned. Sorry about that.
This is
Was it
the
still
end
edible?
of it. Huh? Yes, it was still edible. Yeah. So I would like to share a really, really tiny story about not really actually sharing food. But I was a couple of weeks ago. I was at the Renaissance Fest.
Cool.
and it's not as big as the one in Texas. However, it's still fun because the people I was with were really fun. It was really
The one you went to in Texas and Houston?
I went to the one in one Texas Houston in like 2013/14.
Okay.
But this
a big city. So this one, you liked it?
This one here,
Yeah, I bet it was
I
fun.
liked that. I had a lot
Good.
of fun. I had a lot of fun.
What
So,
do they have big food out there? Like big legs of chicken,
yeah,
turkey?
yeah, and they have actually fried chicken and
I bet
onion
it's
rings, and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good shout out to the Renaissance Fest of Kansas City because
Yes.
that's a really good time. I know they've been around I remember their advertising, their programming since I was a child. So that's about 35 years. I'm old, Mohammed. I'm a non-traditional student here at UMKC participating in this Kroo radio station because I feel like this would be the best way to reach the largest demo that I can reach right now in a very, very serious time and in this nation and in this world. I feel very connected to so many different people around the world as a source of energy that I'm spreading some information. And it's from Sweet Canal here with
Yes.
Mohammed and Kroo that I'm bringing this together with the help of our department and everybody.
Thank you for tuning in. Even if it was a little bit late for you to tune in, it's still there. We have about 25 minutes on
Good.
this show. And you can also talk to us through hashtag Canal. And tune in for the live show on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. on k-row.org. So there is one thing about me. I like things more than money. So if you say hello to me and smile, it's better than $2, for example.
You like the quality of a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That's important, or an interaction. That's very important to you.
So on that note, I was at the Run Fest, and I enjoyed a guy's show, and he was pretty awesome. He was funny. He pointed everyone who laughed or didn't laugh, and he was very interactive, like very specially interactive. So at the end of the show, he pulls out his sack or whatever and says, you can in contributions, whichever it is, $1 or $5 or $10 or $20 or $100. He didn't mention 100, but
Why not?
why not? Okay. So after the show, I was like, I want to give you something. That's what I was talking to myself and my friend.
Yeah.
I want to give you something, but I want to give him something, but I didn't want to give him money. That's like that. I want to give him something that worth something, but not money. Not a hug. But so I looked into my backpack and I had a banana, an apple, a pear, and a peach. And guess what? I pulled out a banana and give it to him. And I was like, thank you. Now you can have some potassium because you don't want to have a muscle spasms during your next show. It was not money. I mean, he probably, I don't know what he felt, but he reacted really well about it.
Nice.
Yeah, so
it's money does help us achieve an end goal, and it's so challenging of a topic, but
that would be it for another day for sure.
yeah, but that food, as we go back to that topic, it brings people together. It gives people the opportunity to talk and create community.
Yep, that's true.
It's a real builder.
That's for sure.
And you know what we really need to be looking at as a nation, some of the most brilliant minds in this nation and world that do work on this every day, is really our food scarcity issue. How can we be scarce of food with as much waste that we have every day? And so it's really hard to think about that. Also, as our growing population mounts to the billions and billions that it already is, that we have to think about our consumption and how much we take in, and how big our family is and how much money we have to spend at the grocery store to provide for them. All those things. Overall, we feel we want to have a family, we want to have an extra child, but and my girlfriend and I talk about it a lot. We plan on having children in the future, focusing on Sky and Oliver for the next 5 to 10 years. And Cameron's younger than me, so she has a little bit more room to work with. So Mohammed,
What's up?
the food. It's the food. It goes back to the food. So the food is a situation that some parts of this country and world are in dire situations without resources that they need in times of great famine, like a natural disaster can cause, like New Orleans has suffered from, or coastal regions, or even the islands that suffer from hurricanes and tsunamis. They're without food. They can't provide or create enough food in a cycle, or it's been destroyed. Very serious stuff going on. Our weather patterns control our food production, which then have to do with our food consumption. It's a very, very complicated circle that we are trying to fix. It's a broken circle. It isn't a circle currently. It's broken. It's a system that isn't a proper process. I'm sure there are better solutions to it. I actually don't have a solution to that problem right now. I'm working on other areas, but that's something we need to figure out.
Yeah. Humans are smart enough to make mass production food.
Yeah, but a lot of it's artificial.
Artificial.
Very artificial.
Yeah.
And not good for your body, and therefore reduces your overall age, and therefore the overall species age decreases. Our living age, our life expectancy age.
Yeah. Oh, well, we are better than before, though.
We continue to grow, and our lives, grow age-wise overall. I don't know what to expect. It's pretty averaged out at 80, maybe.
Yeah. Speaking of growing and rotten and food, there is a documentary called Rotten, Rotten. Tune in or look up that documentary. It's pretty cool. It talks about food, growing food around the United States for sure, or the world. I watched some of that.
The discrepancies around the quantities that are available and that get wasted with the numbers of people who don't have.
It's more about how things are grown, the production,
Okay.
the production part of it. And I'm taking a class called Social Justice, which we haven't really talked about things like that. But since we are in the documentary segment, there's a documentary that's called 13th documentary. If you look that up, you will see people with orange suits, orange jumpsuit. If you see that you found the right one. Please watch that and let us know what you think on Kroo Canal. Hashtag on Twitter.
Have we had any call-ins or any kind of interaction with the outside world?
I'm trying to not to check my phone because I'm trying to focus on here.
Okay, all right. Then any kind of questions that are posed, we'll check them and get back with you on our next week's show.
Yes.
Okay. So, what's our next topic, Mohammed?
Recycling. And we can talk about that for 10 minutes and wrap it up.
Okay. You're a big advocate of the recycling initiatives.
There is a book that talks about things that you'll learn in kindergarten. Kindergarten. Are for life.
Yeah.
Clean up after yourself. Don't be rude to others. Share your food. Be nice to people. And I don't know if they teach them about recycling, but cleaning up after yourself is kind of another way to put it.
Yeah, that's such a good point that the kindergartners, what they're learning will be with them forever, and it's really their first time that they're in a learning environment, unless they're in preschool, where what they're learning is really going towards, of course the parents could teach them. Sometimes when parents teach us things, though, it doesn't stick, like if we're seeing other students do it with us. So recycling is definitely another way of cleaning up that our nation has embraced more than it used to. So we see progress there.
Yeah. Companies who recycle, even though some people think it slows down the economy, but it extends Earth's life, so you should do it.
Oh, the recycling industry alone is a $1 billion plus industry, multi-billion dollar. The waste industry goes into the recycling industry, so it's a very there's a lot of gray line there, because a lot of the products that are seen as being biodegradable, while they won't necessarily damage our earth, sometimes they aren't as convertible. So when you do recycle, it's really important that you put the products in the proper places. Like if there's a bin of 3 spaces to put in, there's paper, plastic, and aluminum or cardboard. Make sure you throw the pieces of glass, put them in the right spots.
Yeah. On 2014, I used to live in an apartment complex where they accept anything that's recyclable, and you can fill that.
Fill what?
Bin.
With a bin, okay.
Yeah, with wherever it is. One of the good things that I have, I've always been environmentally aware, I can say. And I've been recycling for a while.
Well, now you're being more than that. You're being an activist because you're on the radio reaching more people, and this is something that's important to you.
So I've been trying to recycle, but there is a good thing about recycling. If you keep it in your trunk for a couple of days, it's not gonna go bad.
What?
Just the recycling material.
Oh, well, but let's not get too many people becoming obsessive compulsive about stuffing their trunks with trash and getting into that.
No, I'm not trying to say that. If you forget it in your trunk, it's not gonna be like if you are doing that and there's a certain recycling bin and you don't have things to recycle, much things, and it will take 2 weeks to refill. It's not gonna go bad. You can just like whenever it's full, you can dump it and then you can go back to that. So I've been trying to keep up with that and do that all the time. But now I moved to a new apartment complex where it doesn't provide any of that, which takes the opportunity for me to try to do that because.
Oh, with people that live there?
Yeah.
Or just for yourself?
For everyone. Even
awesome.
My neighbor talked about it for a little bit. He said, I want to recycle, but there's no recycle bin in here, so I cannot do that. So, even if you provide people with the recycling bin, some of them won't do that. How about not having it at all? There will be less people who do it.
Right.
So
just having it there is a big advantage.
My contribution to that, I'm like, this is not okay. I'm not gonna collect things and pile it up in my house and then take it to another place where I have to drive for that or something. So I did a mediation, which is another topic for another day. A mediation part of it where...
You did mediation with the owners?
No, but with myself, just to do a little bit of environmental awareness, recycle instead of nothing. So at least things that I'm already done with the semester, paper-wise, bottle-wise, I might take 1 or 2 with me in my backpack or drop them in a recycle bin in UMKC campus, and they have it almost everywhere. You don't have to look for them. You just find one randomly. It's I don't think there's glass though, but there's aluminum, paper, and you can recycle this stuff over there.
I think that our campus is more aware. Our city is. Do we have recycling?
We do, the purple ones.
They're out on the streets.
Yeah, but I didn't see any. I did not catch any that's close to me.
On the plaza, Westport, downtown, Midtown.
Yeah, I live between those, and I don't know.
I know that I do feel safer walking around the city at different times where
Yeah.
I see these guys and women in white shirts, and it says something about Kansas City, and they're kind of like patrol people, and they wear hats, and they kind of have beautiful, nice
In
white
Plaza?
shirts. They're in the plaza, they're downtown.
I
They're
kind of
like
see them. I kind of see them.
part of visitor friendly and just helping out.
Yeah,
walking
there's a
the
lot
streets.
of tourists come to the plaza, by
There
the
are a
way.
lot of tourists that come to Kansas City. It's a very lovely city. It's very lovely. We have such prolific. Last night I was driving, speaking of recycling, we'll go to a part of town that does not recycle, which is the east side. I'm talking down in Hardesty and Benton, and I'm talking about far east. These areas may not have as progressive or aggressive recycling programs in place. And I saw a very different part of town that I'm not used to. Is I drove down Independence from downtown. And I was going and looking at homes in the Indian Mound area up by the museum. Drove further east than I had expected, but very fascinating, the different people that make up a city. It's very extensive.
Yeah.
And not all these individuals have been educated about recycling. I don't think that, like you said in kindergarten, they're not doing it. And some of us have not received any type of recycling education at all.
Yeah.
At all.
That's for sure. That's for sure. So.
I want to go back to a story about recycling.
Please.
Can I tell
Yeah,
a story?
yeah, sure.
So back, I went to college previously at Grinnell College in Iowa, and one of our spring breaks, actually it was winter break, because it was 1999 going into 2000. I was a sophomore, and an individual, my friend Laura Mackinnon, she said, there's a show that you can go to in the Everglades. It was the fish show. It was the Millennium event for fish, PHISH. The deadheads out there, the jam band lovers of the world will know who Fish is. So Fish was playing down at the Everglades in the Seminole Indian Reservation, right there in the Everglades, right in Alligator Alley is what it's called. And it was like a couple hundred acres that they had set up for this huge festival. And I got to go down there. I picked up my buddy in Nashville. He'd taken a bus down from New York. His name is Max Cardenas, Grinnellian, a fellow Grinnellian. Picked him up over winter break. We went down to the fish show in the Everglades and became part of their green team, where we spent the next 3 days picking up trash and recycling all the extensive products that those 50 to 75,000 fans basically produced over 3-4 days. So I'm really with you on the recycling, especially of the big major events where there's 25,000 people and more coming together. It's vital. Those are big impact, big result opportunities that we have to be able to educate our people about and on.
Yeah.
And through.
Earth Day Marathon. After that's over, have you seen what happens to the ground? A lot of cups, a lot of recyclable materials that are dumped on the streets. And the city has to clean after them. That's pretty not cool. It's easily, you can see just not cool.
It's about people taking pride in their city, taking pride in their immediate environment, their block. How about just taking pride in their home? Something that, like I told you, we're looking for. You never, when you go from renting to buying, and you go through that process of looking, especially if you're have a very specific thing that you're looking for or home, you go through a lot, and in that process you become much more appreciative of where you live and the process that your family might have gone through, your dad or mom or grandparents, to get here in the first place. So I'm thankful to be able to be in a city full of beautiful homes. We have beautiful homes, stone, brick, wood. A lot of them. They're very historic. They're old. They're like 1800, built in the 1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah, there was a castle in Lake of Ozark. I forgot if it belongs to.
There's some castles around here too.
Yeah, but I appreciate that a lot. As long as it's not haunted.
Oh, the castle. No. Yeah, I'm sure there are some places haunted. Yeah, for sure.
I just want to put this out there. Why is so difficult for people to park further? You can just
apart from one another, so people try to cram where you have no way of getting out. Mohammed, that's a very funny topic, doesn't it? Does it remind you of Pineapple Express, where he's stuck between the cop car and the car in front, and he's trying to get away after he's seen that murder?
No, actually, but
It's funny.
I would like to watch
Pineapple
that.
Express is a good one. It's pretty funny.
Park down the street. Park a little bit further. As a couple of rows do not hurt. You don't have to go around the parking lot to find a parking lot. Just park further. That's easy. And by going around, you are wasting gas. Environment. Back to that again. And if you walk more, you will be healthier, hopefully.
Good point.
And if you are handicappable, there is special parking for you almost everywhere, thanks to the system. As long as it goes through and you get that sticker. And
The handicap sticker.
Yeah.
There's a lot of parking that available. Yes. On campus.
I think we need to do a couple of shout outs.
Okay. At the end of our broadcast, we'll do a couple of
And
shout
then,
outs too.
yeah, and then there's something a little bit. We'll take a few minutes and then
Okay.
wrap it up.
Okay.
You can reach me on Instagram on Blacklash4, black as the color, lash, LASH4, and Snapchat Blacklash5, black lash LASH5. If you want to talk to this program, use the hashtag on Twitter called Kroo Canal. If you like to listen to this live, for those who watching this on TV, try to tune in on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. on k-ro.org. And for those who are listening to this on k-ro.org, k-ro.org, check Time Warner TV on channel number 17 to see this, and soon it will be on YouTube as well. So far we made this is the third episode, and there is still more hope for more, way more. And
Yeah, we're just getting started.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Shout outs.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to former UMKC alum who's now the new president of the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco, Mary C. Daly. Give a big shout out to her. She's mentioned on the front page of our website, UMKC website. I want to give a big shout out to
I'm just counting how many people.
Again, to my family.
Yes.
And to those people who are making this possible, including our professors in our department.
Peter Morello, thank you so much.
Peter
Yes.
and Angela Elam and
Elam.
Kevin Mullen.
And
then Caitlin Horsman.
I don't know her.
She's in the film department. She's part of that group.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I want to meet her.
yeah, they're all great. We really are lucky over here at UMKC. And
we are very lucky.
I know that Mohammed came here because of this being one of the opportunities that he could get into.
Yes. I want to try to be on the radio and
Well, you
talk
are.
about.
You're on globally, digitally streamed radio right now
Yeah, using big words again.
in high-res definition.
Is it?
5,000K.
What's my name? Yeah.
That's the kind of wavelength hitting everyone's ears when you're talking.
Is it like too high or?
No, I'm kidding. You're good. No, it's good. It's just the clarity that now is provided by high res, which I don't think this is in high res, but it's 5,000K, 5K. So 5K sound.
5K sound means
Like gold. It's golden. You know, the golden sound.
Yeah.
And I am excited to hear this broadcast from the other side because I do hear some of the broadcasts, but our broadcast from the other side. And I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it. And I'm also looking forward to seeing this up on the Time Warner Public Access.
Yes, I'll be excited for that for sure.
500,000 households, that's a couple million people. So what we're doing right now is just honing the program into the 1 hour slot that we've got, editing it and putting something valuable up through Peter and his TW Access opportunity.
Great. This is a great opportunity. We're doing what we're
Yeah, a lot of
supposed to do.
students. A lot of students could be doing this if they're part of the communications department here.
Yeah, I think anyone can. There is a biology majored student who can,
Excellent.
Yeah, as long as you can join the group, you have your show is agreed on.
Oh, okay.
And you have a time on the schedule.
Very
you
cool.
can get in, and
Yeah, so that's how one way that you're empowered as a student and as a person is through a program such as the Kroo radio station.
yes, the poster has been designed. It's gonna be passed around. It's already on Snapchat, on Kairo's Snapchat. For people
For Sweet
who
Canal.
came from there, actually, just let me know, or just let the account know. Just we want to keep traffic. How many people came from that side? We talked about a lot of things. And
Yeah.
I appreciate your existence. Thank you for
Thank you.
handling the camera and bringing it here.
Sure.
And
Thanks for having me.
Thank everyone who has been listening from an hour ago, and thank anyone who actually got the chance to tune in. Special thanks to the people who made this possible, and special thanks to the people who write on the hashtag Canal. So just stuff on just stuff to do on here.
We're gonna sign off.
Signing off. This is Moe Alabdullah, and this is Luke Cole, and thank you for listening.